Today we're gonna see about the drive from Glasgow to Oban is one of the best in Scotland. Road trips are often the name of the game when it comes to the Highlands of Scotland, very difficult to adequately experience without a car. There's an obvious temptation to hear not and just see where the road takes you. There have been much worse ideas. The Cairngorms North Coast 500 Lochaber et al. Make for a mouth-watering collection of options. Trying to identify the best routes is no easy task, but Glasgow to Oban is one of the most straightforward and accessible. Even for first-time visitors to Scotland, belt up and prepare for one of the great Highland road trips. Loch Lomond. What makes this route so special? Well, the fact that it incorporates fabulous Loch Lomond would be a good start. One of the most visually appealing spots in the country, this drive takes you along the well-traveled western shore of the Loch. The fact that this scenic masterpiece is within 30 minutes of our biggest city seems almost unfair as you rapidly leave your urban frustrations behind. At times, running directly alongside the deep blue Bonny Banks, Britain's largest lake, is yours to enjoy up close. A mistimed twist of the wheel as you frantically try to find your camera at the bottom of that bag on the passenger seat, and into the water you shall go. I assure you, the drive is winding but spectacular as you take in the many peaks of the lodge, including Ben Lomond itself. Argyll. Leaving the lodge behind, your Glasgow to Oban Drive north continues. You can choose whether to head directly west into Argyll and follow the coast via Inverary and Loch Fyne, or head further north first before turning west, but are magnificent options, and for a recent trip I suggest going out one way and back the other, assuming the latter for the outbound journey. That is the most direct route. You will turn right at Pretty Tarbet and keep the lodge on your right hand side as you continue north. A busy route in summer, it is also spectacular off season when the roads are quiet. In autumn, except a rainbow of color in the glens you pass through, reds, greens, yellows, and browns are there beneath the mist. Winter has its own unique appeal too when the snow-topped peaks come to life. This is Scotland. This is what I think of when I talk about the Highlands and the great Scottish outdoors, to the extent that taking this best route makes up my view of the Scotland in a day, which is worth a read if you are in this area. Next up is Lochaber. You might think, having just driven the length of Loch Lomond, another loch might leave you water saturated, but it really looks and feels completely different. Long and thin, the northern shore is flanked by some magnificent peaks, including Ben Cruachan, stopped by the staggeringly intricate St. Conan's Creek for a quick look at one of Scotland's most beautifully structured buildings and for immaculate views over the water. En route, Kilchorn Castle is also one of the most stunningly located ruins in Scotland. You'll find this on Loch Ave's northern shore. For many, the stereotypically Scottish castles, it has everything: inky black waters, stunning mountain backdrop, and cracked ruins that would have poets, writers, and photographers in a state of euphoria. Miss this at your peril. Oban. The next stop is Oban itself, the gateway to the Isles, ever popular with travelers heading to the likes of Mull and Lona, or even to the Outer Hebrides. Oban is a constantly bustling place, the only settlement of any significant size in the area. It's an almost alarming return to civilization as the buzz of holiday goers shakes you out of your Highland slumber. Options galore await you at the ferry terminal as the draw of the western island of Scotland takes grip. If you're looking for more inspiration of this kind, take a look at my thoughts on top things to do on the Isle of Barra. Travels with the Cult. The journey length for this direct route from Glasgow to Oban is a little over 2 hours, but you would be mad not to stop at several of the points described above for photos. Don't rush. At no point in the journey is the drive hugely challenging, and the roads are generally in pretty good condition. If you were making a return journey back to Glasgow, you could simply retrace the above Glasgow to Oban route or drive directly south from Oban to Lochaber and then Aquaharini. At least an hour to your journey time for this approach, it takes you a scenic drive passing the likes of Kilmartin Glen, famous for its standing stones, and further on to run parallel to Loch Fyne. This route will eventually return you to Loch Lomond and the home straight from Tarbet. You can read about my Glasgow to Inverary drive for more details of the stretch of the Southern Highlands. Expect plenty more castles, loch and just awful. By the time you arrive in Oban, chances are you will be hungry as you would expect. There are many choices for fresh fish, but I recommend East for fairly high-end seafood and for something more casual. Oban fish and chip shop, as good fortune would have it, Oban Distillery is on the same street. How thoughtful! An excellent choice as an introduction to whiskey. Oban malts have the saltiness and perfumed appeal of West Coast without the heavily peated notes synonymous with the likes of Islay in particular. With the whiskey-induced spring in your step, you can explore Oban itself on foot. Dunal Castle and Gardens are a short walk from the town centre. McCaig's Tower, the odd-looking Roman-esque structure hovering over the town, is a steep but rewarding walk, and a nosy at the pier as the fishermen come and go is likely to bring out the photographer in you. All told, Oban deserves at least a couple of hours of your time. Thank you so much for being so patient with me today while I walked on this video. Thank